Hi guys, today Japan rank 3 is on the menu. And oh boy, I've had quite some trouble with this rank. Now how I do this is just at the beginning I quickly rank them, in whatever order I think. And then I start to think. When I did this with these tanks right here, I've put every single one of them in either A or B tier. I will have to change the requirements for S and C tier a little bit, so it will be much easier to me to put a tank in S tier and also much easier to put them in C. But we'll see. No tank will come into D tier. Now I had such a big problem with this that I created post on Reddit. I will link this down below in the comments, so in the description, not the comments. So you can go click it and you can read through this what people had to say about the tanks right here. Now I must say this. I don't fully agree with people right here. I agree with a lot, and after some thinking, yes, I re-ranked some of them, but I don't agree with everything that was said down here. And I will go through, I will say why not, and so on and so on. So I will rank them how they perform in Japanese 3. What that means is that this tank could be S tier. Let's just say for an example, S tier in Japan 3. But oh man, when you compare this tank to other nations, it can go down significantly. And with Japan tanks, this will definitely happen. They're over tiered so much. Just for an example, let me showcase you this. Look at this. This is Chino 2, Japanese premium tank at 4.3. This is Panzer 4F, German tank at 3.3. Now look at the stats right here. 50, this is the same. Smoke grenades, something extra. Look at the speed, it's better. And look at the gun. Now yes, I know, Japan tanks have much more explosive filler inside, but that doesn't matter. German tanks have more than enough filler, so it doesn't really matter. And look at the battle rating of these two tanks: 3.3, 4.3. So yeah, this is a huge problem with Japan. Now we went from Chiha to Chehe, and now the next is Chinu. 39 kilometers per hour top speed, backward 7. It's mediocre, it's not good, it's not bad. 50mm armor on the turret, 50mm armor on the hull. For 3.3, it's not great. You had that on 2.0 Hawaii, so in 3.3 against 4.3 tanks, and you've seen the penetration on Panzer 4F, it's 160 something. Yeah, good luck surviving a shot. So 50mm of armor, this is shit, doesn't mean anything in this battle rating. Now 75mm cannon, you get type 1 APHE, you get 103mm of penetration. This is not bad, but it's not amazing. I would say it's more than enough for this battle rating, but you will struggle with some tanks on range and stuff like that. And you get massive amount of TNT equivalent, you get 85 grams. This is huge. But, is it worth trading? Like, if we look at the Panzer IV with Germany, is it worth trading 60mm of penetration for 50 more grams of explosive? I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, how you need to play these tanks is, with this tank it's a little bit bad, because this penetration 103, it's not good enough that you can sit at the back and snipe people or something like that. So you need to, it's a little bit tricky to play, but I made it work. I think you can make it work with 6-second reload. It's not the worst tank, it's not, but it's nothing special. So I'll have to put Chinu in rank B. It's, I would say, perfectly mediocre tank. It could go down to 3.0, I truly think so. If the Panzer IV F2 can be in 3.3, yeah. But remember something, people in the Reddit post always compare these vehicles to German tanks. But you need to consider this, German tanks are under tiered. So it's not, oh, these tanks are bad because German tanks are so much lower. German tanks are lower because shit players play them and they're under tiered. And on top of that, these tanks are over tiered a little bit. So you get this big difference between them that, it's just how it is. So yeah, it sucks. But now when you go to from 2.7 Japan to 3.3, or you have 3.0 Soki, but that's SPAA, so I don't know if I should count that. When you go from 2.7 to 3.3, this is big jump for Japan. You go from that 47mm cannons to 75, and it's huge. But at the end of the day, this tank is mediocre. Also, when you go from 3.3, I would recommend researching both this and NATO tank, because then you have two tanks at 3.3 and it's a little bit easier to play. And that brings me to the second tank, NATO. Now with this tank, again, you get 75mm cannon. It's just a different cannon than on the Chinu. 75, same type, 1 APHE, but you have 145mm of penetration instead of 103. This is huge. This is a huge jump. With this penetration, you will never struggle to penetrate anything in this battle rating. KV1, bring it on, so that's good. Now to bad things. You're open, 12mm of armor at the front, machine guns will destroy you, planes will destroy you. The speed, it's not terrible, 40 kilometers per hour, it's good, so no, I don't really have complaints for tank destroyer on that part. Like I said, the biggest problem with this tank, it's open, so that's why it kills this tank. But I must say, it's a good tank, but it's nothing that special, just because you can get killed by planes so easily. So as soon as you kill 1-2 guys, yep, expect someone to show up in a plane and just destroy you. On long range, perfect. Medium range, very good. Close range, it's still good, but it's just not that that a beast of a tank that is on a long range. S tier, it's definitely not. I don't think I should put it in A tier either. So I will put it in B tier. And I will put it even in front of Chino, because I think the gun really makes that big of a difference. Yes, it's open, but before any plane is up, you can still get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kills sometimes, so even when plane is up, sometimes they will not see you, so you just need to play a little bit sneakily behind cover and stuff like that. But yes, I love playing this tank. I would say it's good, but just because it's open and it's so easily killed, I must put it in B tier. So yeah, that's that. Then we come to M24 at 3.7, and a lot of people just go look at the comments on Reddit. S tier, definitely S tier and stuff like that. Some people even brought out the fact that it's rank 3. What that means is that you can grind events with this vehicle, because you can't grind events with rank 1 and 2 vehicles. That's good, but I'm not rating the tanks based on that. I'm rating the tanks based on how good they are. So this tank, 75mm cannon, M61 shot, explosive, it's around 60 grams I think, so a little bit worse than Chinu, but it's still more than enough. 104mm of penetration, so the penetration is lacking a little bit. You will struggle a little bit against KV1s. You just will. You need to learn the weak spots and then go for them. It's not that hard because you have stabilizer. So stabilizer, mobility, you're fast. But you're not the fastest tank out there. A lot of people said it's M4 that traded armor for mobility. But you don't gain that much of mobility, and you have just enough armor that when people penetrate, the shell will fuse and you will go up. So yeah, that's not good, but it's a very nice vehicle. It's fun to play. You have stabilizer, so you also have 50 cal on the top. I will put it in S tier, but this is the vehicle that I think I'm mostly putting it in S tier just because we don't have any other good tanks right here. Yeah, it's between here, in my opinion. But let's put it in S because there's nothing really that much better than this vehicle. Then we go to 4.0. This is the M44. It's the new artillery in the game. Now almost every nation got this tank. You have 155mm cannon. Everything is good, 9 kilograms of explosive. Yeah, good luck to everyone on the receiving end of this shell. That's all fine and everything, but 15-second reload. Yeah, have fun with this. You know, against multiple people or something like that, have fun. Then you have 7 people in the back, you know, they're snuggling like crazy at the back. Very tight together. And they're open as fuck. Machine guns, have fun. 4 or 5 people are dead in like 3-4 seconds with machine gun. Yeah, have fun with that. Planes, have fun with that. Bombs, oh man, it's terrible for survivability. And a lot of people on Reddit said, oh, this tank deserves S tier. No way. No way. I think why people really like this vehicle is because if you're bad, it doesn't matter. I think that's why people think it's so good, but it's not so good. You have 15-second reload, so that means that if you play NATO, you have 145mm of penetration, you will one-shot almost everything anyway, and you have 6.5 seconds, I think, on that tank. So you kill, you shot 2 times, and you're half reloading on the third shot, you know, and with this vehicle, you reload once in that time. So that's not good. What I didn't mention till this point is speed. You go 56 kilometers per hour forward and 15 back. 15 back is more than enough. 56, again, you don't really reach that unless you go in a straight line, but it's not bad. The only problem I have with this tank is that it's killed way too easily and your reload is also big, so I will put it in A tier. Just because I don't think it's average. I still think it's very good. But I also don't want to put it in S tier. I don't think it deserves S spot. There's almost no derp tanks out there that I think deserves S spot. They have too many bad things to put them in S tier. Most of them, at least, from the top of my head. So yeah, A tier. And now we come to 2 SPAS. And if you're old player, you will know this. M42 right here. This tank was 6.7 back in the day. Maybe even higher, not sure, but I remember it at 6.7. And this was trash SPA in that time. You know, this was the time where Gaijin thought, oh, bigger caliber, better SPA. No. Just for instance, the Crusader AA Mark 1 and 2. Mark 1 has 40mm cannon. It was, for a long time, it was bigger battle rating than Mark 2. Such a dumb way to put the tanks in battle rating order, you know, but they changed this a little bit. But this tank, both of them, 6.7 and this was 5.7, something like that. They came down to 4.0. At 4.0, these tanks are actually very good. Now first let's go through how they perform against planes. In 4.0 it's a little bit better than at 6.7. Why? Because planes are so much slower, people are worse, so they come a little bit closer, and if you're good with SPA and their aim, you know, you're good at aiming, you can get some nice shots, and when you hit someone with this 40mm cannon, yeah, they fall apart. So I've had quite some nice matches where I destroyed multiple planes, but it's not the best against that. So for SPAA capabilities, I would put it in C tier. I don't think it's trash, but it's bad. I would put it in C. But when we go and look how it performs against tanks, oh man. The only problem is that when you encounter, so you know what, first you can't play people from the front, you know, and just go in like a heavy or something. No way. You need to search for opportunities to get on their sides, to get from behind and stuff like that. And when you do, 72 millimeters of penetration is more than enough for almost every single tank in the game at this battle rating. Now you have problems with heavy tanks. KV1 and KV1B and stuff like that. Oh man, you struggle a lot. You struggle a lot. And you know, that's the biggest problem with this kind of tanks, because it's not consistent. Like you see in the background, I had like 2-3 games where I destroyed like 10 people. Yeah, and on the other side, I had games where I encountered someone heavy and boom, I'm dead. I would put it in A tier because of that against tanks. So you know what, let's go in the middle against planes, C, against tanks, A. I would put it in B tier, and let's just put it behind every single tank. It says PA. Now the only difference between M42 and M19A1, I think this one is called, is the speed. M19A1 you go 56 kilometers per hour, with this 72. This is quite nice. And backwards you go with this one a little bit faster, but this doesn't really matter, you know, so this is the biggest thing. Also, I think the turret on the front on SPA is a little bit more convenient, so once you research the M42, there's no need in M19A1. There's no need. You don't need to play it ever again. This one is just better. So that's why I'll put it in C. This is the only reason. I wouldn't consider this. It would go right here. But let's just put, I think this will, yeah, this will be the only tank in C. Because this is just one better. And there's no need to play this one once you research this. That's it. Now before I move on, I need to say this. On the Reddit post, I've seen a lot of people saying these two SPAs are D tier or C tier. They suck. I must say, I agree with that one comment that said that playing these tanks require high skill floor. So that means that you need to be actually good to even use them. I agree with that. I think it's mostly skill issue for people that just can't make these tanks work. Yeah, sure, you can encounter like 5 games in a row a heavy tank. But come on, sooner or later you will get a nice flank if you're good enough, and or avoid heavy tank as soon as you see him. Maybe track him, destroy his gun, move on, or stuff like that, you know. So yeah, they're a little bit challenging to play, but once you get good, and oh, you can make it work so damn nicely. And the next is Chino 2. And this is the premium tank at 4.3. And on the Reddit, a lot of people said, oh, this is beautiful tank. I've seen other comments on other videos and stuff like that praising this tank. And my only question is, how can people say that this tank at 4.3 is godlike or amazing, and the Chino at 3.3 is trash? They're the same vehicle. The only difference is the gun, you know. You have 103 millimeters of penetration on this one, and here you have 151, but it's one battle rating higher. So I don't see how this is good, but this is trash or bad. So you know, that confused me a little bit. But I must say that I agree that this tank is very good. Again, 39 kilometers per hour speed. Armor 50 on the hull, 50 on the turret. In this battle rating you will almost never bounce with this armor. Almost never. You have 6.5 second reload on a very good gun. One reason why I maybe think that people have such a big difference between these two vehicles, the Chino 1 and 2, is that penetration allows you to play more safe at the back or something like that. That's true, you know, that's definitely true. You can snipe like crazy with this vehicle. It's, I would say, truly nice vehicle, but it's such a overrated vehicle in battle rating, over-tiered. But it's one of the best options, I think, for premium tank. The only tank that I would say it's even better to buy is starter pack. Japanese starter pack. You get the Chihei, whatever it's called, the premium version one. That is truly worth it. And this is, I think, the second option I would go for in low battle rating. And it's truly nice. It's a very nice vehicle. It with this tank you will really start learning how to play with Japanese tanks. You can't go head on. You can't fight head to head with other nations. You really need to put yourself in a position where you get first shot on someone and just play like a little rat, sneakily, you know, just shoot from one shot from here, one shot from there, and it's a weird playstyle. You need to adopt this with Japanese tanks because they're just inferior to other nations. So, in terms of where I should put it, it's not B. It's not. So, I was thinking in A, in front of M44, but just because what we have next, I think this is better. So I will put it in S tier because of that. Then we have, this is a standard Tech 3 right now. So we have Cheeto. Now, what is the difference between Cheeto and Chino 2? The armor. That's it. The armor and a little bit of extra speed. So the armor goes from 50 millimeters to 75. But the battle rating goes from 4.3 to 4.7. So yeah, you're gonna face tigers. VK. Oh boy. You are outgunned like crazy. You still can penetrate, you can still kill them. If you're good, you're gonna dominate German teams somehow. I don't know how it's even possible, but you will do that. Mobility goes from 39 to 45. That's good. And the only difference between Cheeto and Cheeto Late is the armor at the front on the hull. You know, if you side scrape a little bit with Cheeto, you have this shoulder on the side that you can get penetrated much easier in there. But on the other hand, why would you even side scrape with Japanese tanks? You know, you have 35 millimeters of armor on the side, so that's a little bit weird. And then on Cheeto Late, the turret is a little bit smaller, and this definitely helps. People will have a little bit harder shot, so you know, that always helps a little bit. Also, what I have to mention is that with Chino 2, the turret rotation is a little bit faster, so I think 16 degrees with this is 12. I don't really notice that much, so I don't think that's such a big deal. But you go to 4.7. That's why I think these two tanks deserve A tier. And in front of M44. Also Cheeto Late, it's in front of Cheeto. It's just better. Now these two are folded. That means that you can only research Cheeto and then move on. I would recommend pick up Cheeto Late. It's 4.7. These are the only two vehicles that you get at 4.7, so it's always so much better to have two vehicles of that BR. 3, you're almost always good. But yeah, you don't get free 4.7 tanks right here. But you have this 4.7, you have this 4.7, and you have Chino 2 4.7, 4.3. So yeah, I think this is more than good enough. This is very free, I would say. I would say free over-tiered tanks, but they're still good. If you're a new player, you will struggle a little bit, but they're good. Once you get good with them and learn this Japanese playstyle, you can make them work. I made them work almost every single game. Almost every single game. And then we go to the last rank 3 tank, Chiri 2. And this tank ate a few too many burgers, you know. So yeah, that's why it's so big. Now with this tank, again, you have the same armor as on Cheeto Late and Cheeto. 75 at the front, full 35 at the back, and turret 50. Speed again 45 kilometers per hour, and backwards it goes from 8 to 12. This is actually a nice thing. You can pull back so much quicker. The gun, it's the same, but it's model 1 instead of model 2. Doesn't really matter. The only difference is it has auto loader with 3 shots, and you have 3.3 seconds between them. So what that means is you fire once, 3.3 seconds, you fire twice. 3.3 seconds, you fire the third time. And then after that, the shells need to reload again. That reload between third and fourth shot is, I think, around 10 seconds. That's not the best. But what this means is that you get 3 very quick shots in. Let's say you go on a flank and you see 3 people. With Cheeto late, you would be screwed a little bit. You kill the first guy. Maybe the second or third guy notices you before you can fire second shot. Maybe it's even, you know, maybe it's even between the second and third shot that you get spotted or something. But with this thing, boom, 3 seconds, boom, 3 seconds, boom, 3 kills. Then of course that 10 seconds is a long time, but most of the time you'll not be firing consistently, you know, so this is very nice, very nice. The only problem with this tank really is the size. One thing I forgot to mention is that you also get the secondary gun on your hull. 37mm Type 1 cannon. The caliber is the same as on Hago, but it's a different cannon, so you get 46mm of penetration instead of 34. You will almost never be able to use this cannon. 46, I mean, is just not good enough for almost any tank in this battle rating. Maybe if you encounter a Hellcat or something that has no armor. Sure, but even then, you know, when you post-pain damage is almost non-existent. I find the best use for this cannon is baiting people. Some people don't know the Japanese tanks because, you know, you don't see them very often on the battlefield. They don't know, they maybe didn't even look, you know, at you when you shot, and then they see, oh, look, he shot. They think, oh, they can push. Nope. So that's the only good thing I think this gun is for. But even that, I don't think I've used this successfully in like 10 games with this vehicle. So this secondary cannon is more of a meme or something like that. It's truly not that good. And yes, because it's huge as a barn, if not, let's say that this tank is the same size as Cheeto Late, it would go in S tier, no doubt. But because it's so huge, you're catching shells from all the sides. Yeah, you need to play even more sneakily, if I can say it like that. You need to be more careful. And what's the problem? Well, you're big, so everyone notices you. It's so damn hard to play sneakily with this thing, and you get this weird playstyle where you either need to snipe from the back or something like that, but your turret is sticking out like crazy. You have this big forehead up here, so yeah, have fun with that. And playing sneaky, people will notice you sooner or later, and yeah, I've had games where I managed to get like 3-4 kills, then move and get 3 kills again, but games like that are very rare. But it's still very good vehicle. And this is my final tier list for Japan, rank 3. Let's make it like this. Yep. S tier, M24, Chino 2. A tier, Chiri 2, Cheeto Late, Cheeto and M44. B tier, NATO, Chino and M42. And C tier, M19A1. What I could do easily, is this. I truly think this is possible to rank them like this, but I'm stretching this a little bit, so I feel the S and C tier. It's at least one of the reasons why I'm putting them in S and C. You know how they say, but when everything is good, nothing is good, or at least that's how I look at this. If I put every single tank in B, well, one tank is better than the other or not, so it's a little bit unfortunate because we have this idea that S is, it's amazing, it's broken, and D is trash. This has been the most difficult. Even when I rated every single 1.0 tank in the game, go check the video out, it's amazing. It was easier than this. I've had such a big problems with these tanks to rate them. They're over tiered like crazy, and they're very similar. Just look at this. Look at this cross right here. These tanks are they're the same. They're the same vehicle apart from small changes in battle rating. That's it. And also, and then you have two SPS, you have artillery that is so damn hard to put it in any tier, because someone will say it's S, someone will say it's D. It's very difficult to rank. And then you have this light tank that I would agree it's very good, but also I don't think it's the best. It could be so much better if it go it if this tank would accelerate like BT5 is accelerating. This tank would go even above everything it has there, but it's not. Pumas are almost outperforming you at 3.7. So yeah, that's that. Not outperforming. I need to correct that. Outmaneuvering. Yep, because otherwise some people would be very mad right here. And yeah, this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please tell me in the comments what do you think about this. Do you think this is reasonable, or would you change anything? I think the biggest problem people will have is with this tank and with SPAs. I truly think some people will say it's S tier, some people will say D tier or C tier. And yeah, also tell me how do you like this sort of rankings, and if you would like to see, one thing I'm thinking about is rating how planes perform in ground RB, so how planes perform as close air support. If you would love to see that, please tell me in the comments. And yeah, this is it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day and good bye.